If you're over 60 and you've noticed something changing during ejaculation, like less volume, a weaker release, or almost nothing at all, there's something important you need to understand about your prostate. And most men never hear this explained clearly. They notice the change, stay quiet about it, and over time start to worry about what it might mean. Hello, I'm Dr. Elena Martinez. For over a decade, I've worked with men experiencing changes in prostate function, sexual health, and aging-related symptoms. And today, I want to talk to you about something many men go through, but almost no one discusses openly. Changes in ejaculation. Because what most men assume is happening is usually not the real reason behind it. And what's actually happening can reveal more about your prostate than almost any other early symptom. Before we go further, take a moment to like this video and subscribe. I share clear, research-based information specifically for men over 60, especially topics most people feel uncomfortable asking about. Now let me ask you something directly. Have you noticed that things don't work the way they used to? Maybe the volume is lower. Maybe the force isn't the same. Or maybe you reach climax and almost nothing comes out. And the first thought that comes to your mind is this normal? Is this just age? Or is something wrong? Here's the truth. This is common, but it's not random. And it's not something you should ignore. Because this type of change often appears before other prostate symptoms become obvious. Before frequent urination, before a weaker urinary stream, before waking up multiple times during the night. For many men, this is one of the earliest signals that something in the prostate has changed. And the reason most don't understand it is simple. No one ever explains what's supposed to happen in the first place. So let's start there. During ejaculation, your body relies on a coordinated system. The prostate produces part of the fluid, the seminal vesicles produce even more, muscles contract in sequence, and a valve ensures everything moves forward instead of backward. When everything is working properly, this process feels consistent and natural. But after 60, subtle changes begin to happen. Not suddenly, and not all at once, but gradually. And one of the most important factors behind these changes is something most men never think about. Blood flow. As we age, circulation becomes less efficient, especially in certain areas of the body, including the pelvic region. When blood flow decreases, tissues don't function the same way. Glands produce less fluid, muscle contractions lose strength, and coordination between systems becomes less precise. That's when you start noticing changes like reduced volume, weaker release, or delayed response. And this is the moment when many men become concerned. Because it feels noticeable. It feels different. And it feels like something might be seriously wrong. But here's what most men don't realize. There are different patterns behind this change, and understanding which one applies to you makes a big difference. One common pattern is called retrograde ejaculation. This happens when the valve that normally closes the bladder during ejaculation doesn't seal completely. Instead of moving forward, the fluid is redirected backward into the bladder. You still feel the climax, but little or nothing comes out. And afterward, urine may appear cloudy because the fluid is being released later. Another pattern is reduced production. In this case, everything is working in the correct direction, but the total volume is lower because the glands are less active, often due to reduced circulation. This tends to happen gradually, which is why many men don't notice it until the difference becomes more obvious. A third possibility is partial blockage. The prostate contains small ducts that allow fluid to pass through. When there is inflammation or enlargement, those pathways can become restricted, limiting the amount of fluid that comes out. And sometimes, this can come with a sensation of incomplete release. Now here's why all of this matters. Because this is not just about sexual function. This is one of the clearest early indicators of changes in prostate health. And in many cases, it appears before other symptoms become disruptive. That makes it extremely valuable. Because when something shows up early, you still have time to respond. You still have time to support your body before things progress further. But most men don't see it that way. They ignore it, or assume it's just part of aging, and do nothing. And that's where they lose the opportunity to act early. Now, it's important to understand something. If this change happens suddenly, or comes with pain, burning, or blood, you should speak to a doctor as soon as possible. But if you're over 60, and this developed gradually without pain, in most cases it's related to changes in prostate function and circulation. And that means there are ways to support it. Not with extreme measures and not with complicated routines, but by focusing on the system that drives these changes. And that system is circulation. Because your prostate depends on healthy blood flow to function properly. It needs oxygen, nutrients, and proper cellular activity to maintain normal performance. When circulation is supported, the glands function better, coordination improves, and the changes you notice don't progress the same way. Some men ignore this completely and wait, but others take a different approach. They focus on supporting circulation and prostate function early, before symptoms become more difficult to reverse. There are natural approaches designed specifically for this, focused on helping the body maintain healthy blood flow and support normal prostate activity over time. And this is where many men begin to notice gradual improvements in how their body responds. If you want to understand what this approach looks like in more detail, I've left a link in the description and also in the first comment. You can take a look when you have a moment and see what makes sense for you. Now, here's the most important thing to remember. Your body is not working against you. It's communicating with you. Changes like this don't happen randomly. They happen for a reason. And when you understand that reason, you're in a position to do something about it. So don't ignore what you're noticing. Pay attention, understand it, and take action early. If this video helped you understand something you didn't know before, leave a comment and let me know what stood out to you. And subscribe, because I'll continue sharing information that most men never hear, but should. Take care of your health, because it affects everything.